Happy Friday. I am back for a review for Sistas Season 3, Episode 14. One Word Answers is the name of the episode. Okay, guys, I'm so sorry I'm late. I was just busy this week. I'm so sorry. But anywho, I've had some people reach out to me and were asking, hey, where are your videos? Which was a shocker to me because, I'm just a small YouTuber. But, I have gotten some positive feedback. I have had people in my inbox say, just congratulating me, giving me motivation to keep going. And, so I'm going to take that and just run with it because that's wonderful because you guys, you don't have to take time out your busy day to, to just, give little old me a words of encouragement, but I thank you. Okay, so this episode, it started off where it left off last week with Maurice and Sabrina, Calvin, and Peggy in the kitchen. And Calvin and Peggy were naked. And so Calvin went and grabbed I think a syrup bottle and put, to hide his crown jewel. And the crazy part is Peggy was like, so you're Sabrina? Oh, I've heard so much about you. Girl, this is not the time nor the place to tell me anything, And what kills me is do you think I want to talk to you in this moment? And so, wasn't he just in bed with Sabrina? I don't know how many days had passed, but him and Sabrina had just made up, and she found you, right, at Maurice's house, which is his house, naked with another chick. Okay, so he's like, Sabrina, I want to talk to you because Maurice, he's the comedic voice, the comedic voice throughout the scene because he's, he was saying little things to Calvin or whatever and to Peggy and, trying to, he was making light of the situation. However, I mean, I don't know, guys. There is no making light of the situation because, and he was like, what are you guys doing here? Oh, so you want to have your entanglement, during work hours. And so no one is supposed to know. Oh, okay. Because I really did. I pegged Calvin to be somewhat honest. I really did. Okay. And so anyway, Sabrina's like, I'm going to go. Because she was very hurt, And she walks out here and Sabrina, wait, I want to talk to you. Dude, what do we have to talk about? You literally are holding your penis running into the room. What do we need to talk about? Boy, bye. Okay. So then they go over to Sabrina's house and the girls are there, out Karen, Sabrina hadn't made it, Karen, Andy, and Danny. And so, of course, they go into Sabrina's refrigerator, and there is absolutely nothing to drink that they want. They said Sabrina bought cheap liquor, cheap wine or whatever. So, trusty old, dependable Danny goes into her bag and start giving them bottles of liquor. Little small bottles of liquor that she has stolen off of the plane at the airport that she works at. And, bougie or making light of, the cup and, first of all, it's not like because you guys knew you were about to go over and have girl talk and to check on Sabrina, but also to have girl talk. And neither one of you decide to stop and pick up a bottle of whatever you guys drink. So Danny, trusty old Danny goes into her bag and she's handing each girl liquor, which they are pouring into cups, glasses, and complaining. So in walks Sabrina. and bothered. And remind you, she had, okay, she did, she was, almost robbed, right? But she was held at gunpoint. So she have the right to be upset. However, she's more, at this moment, she's upset at Calvin. So she walks in huffing and puffing, and so they were like, "Oh, you okay?" They thinking she huffing and puffing about the robbery, and no, they started discussing her wine choices, and she was like, "Well, I had some, but Calvin drank it all up." So now, hence, bring Calvin into the conversation. So they start talking, well, how you talk to Calvin, whatever. Yeah, and of course she goes to tell them he was at Maurice's house with a lady naked. And so, of course, the lady starts shooting her shots because they're her friend. And also, you mean to tell me you and him was just making this hot, passionate love, and today he's at Maurice's house caught? Like, make it make sense. Make it make sense. If you can make it make sense, maybe I can understand. So, she's all hot and bothered. And the crazy part is, like, okay, they all have their own situations going on. Because, mind you, Rodeo have moved out to his cousin. Zach is with Fatima, and Karen is on some, I don't know what she's smoking, but she needs to stop smoking it, because also now she's all about Zach. But that's how it go, guys. Whenever you are in a relationship with somebody else, your ex is all of a sudden so adamant about trying to make things work, trying to fix it. No, where was all this zeal and lust for this relationship when you had me? No. And Andy have her own thing with Gary. So all the women are having issues, right? So, okay, so they start just really they start making shots, talking about each other's situation or whatever. And Sabrina, I keep saying Sabrina because this lady who worked with me, her name is Sabrina. So I have to remind myself, no, her name is not Sabrina. So Sabrina mentions Aaron or whatever, and she was like, he asked her to marry her. He asked Karen to marry him. So they was like, Andy was like, what did you say? She said, well, I told him no. She was like, I don't, I think I'm gonna call Zach. I think as her friend, as her sister, that Andy should say, you might want to take Zach off the brain. Because given the fact that, her and Fatima talk, even though she was like, I'm just her boss. Really? The way you two sit and gossip and try to work things out, you just her boss? So you guys are not friends? I mean, that's new information for me. So I personally would have, even if she had to pull her aside and say, hey, it's a no for Zach. Because Zach has moved on, But she didn't. So anyway, here comes Calvin. So he, they let him in and he's talking, and of course he asked, did she tell y'all what happened? And, if you want to listen to your friends, because they control the conversation. So he was, he were talking to them. Like she's standing back still mad, hot and bothered. And, he goes and he, say something nasty to Danny. And see, I have a problem with that. Like, actually she should have stood there and told them, hey, let me talk to Calvin, because you don't want your man, cursing out your friends and your friends cursing out your man. Like, you don't want that. So, but she stood back and said nothing, right? So he was defending himself. Oh, Daddy was like, oh, yeah, she told us about you and the panties, and yeah, because he's eccentric. I'm gonna say that he's eccentric, right? And so he like, I'm not gonna say women panties, but he like well, well, guys, if any of you know, do they make men's underwear with lace? Because I wouldn't know. Because maybe I can't even get it out. But anyway, so he gets into it, and the girls like, he's like, you want to sit here and listen to and they all, you listen to your what? They know what he wanted to say, but he was like, you're friends, but I'm going back home. Oh, he asserted his power, whatever, I'm going back home and I'm going to cook dinner, and at 8 o'clock, I expect to see you there. And walked out. And honey, the other girls got turned on by that. And I ain't gonna lie. I won't lie to you. Women, we do like a forceful man like that. Like, I'm not talking about choking you out and all that kind of stuff. I'm talking about a man that put his foot down and say, no, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Like, because sometimes we as women, I don't know, child. I don't know. Everybody's different. But I'm just saying. But I was like, oh. He was like, oh, he was very assertive, and I expect to see you there. And the girls got hot and by. I was like, oh, I'm looking at him a little different. You better take all that aggravation you have and that anger and go take it over there and let it out, all that rage, and go over there and let it out. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I need a little glass of water after that. Like, down Calvin, And so, the ladies leave. And so, Sabrina is, she being Sabrina. Y'all already know. But, okay, so I'm gonna wait till I get there. Okay, so I want to make sure I don't miss nothing. Karen act like, all of a sudden now she's all about Zach. No. That's it. That ship have sailed, honey. That ship have sailed. And she actually said, she was going to go home and call Zach. So, let's get to Miss Karen. So, she went home and she called Zach. She was like, I see you unblocked my number. Call me back or whatever. She got on this little gown or whatever. I guess she's, trying to get cute just in case he come over there. Because I guess the bird haven't made it over there yet. That is over. I guess the bird is still flying. It's still in in translation. Like, I guess it haven't, the peacock, not the peacock. Whatever those birds that fly, pigeons. I guess the pigeon haven't made it over there yet with the little note that says, we are done. That's what it is, guys. The pigeon haven't made it over there. Okay? Because I don't understand why now you trying to be all about Zach. I'm not understanding. Because, guys, didn't he tell her when he took her that money that it was over? Okay? And so then she asked him out to eat. And he said, oh, I'm good. What more do he need to do? Oh, okay. He need to get ugly. He need to get ugly with you in order for you to realize it's over. And then the crazy part is you was so all about Aaron. Well, maybe you were just confused or whatever. I'm not for sure. But I'm not understanding. Okay? So she called him a message and she's waiting. Well, here comes a knock at the door. I'm sure in her heart she was hoping it was Zach. But no, it was Aaron. Okay? It was Aaron. So he comes over He's a cutie pie to me too, but I don't know. It's just something about like I like him. Don't get me wrong, but huh. I wonder, I wonder how stable is he. You know what I'm saying? I just wonder because they sat down. He brought Chinese food, and I guess it was supposed to be movie night or whatever, and she totally forgot because her mind all of a sudden now is on Zach. Like you really realized that Zach was the good dude way after the fact. Like, oh wait, you really realized, you had you something, but now he's in a whole different situation. He like I I mean I have this much. You see that? I have this much sympathy for Karen. I enjoy the fact that he's with Fatima. I think um he might, you know what, I want to say maybe he's rushing it, but he might not be. You know what I'm saying? Because I think he really appreciated the fact that along came Fatima. Along came someone who cared enough to say, "You'll be all right. You can make it." Look, like here are a few steps to take to get you on the right path to secure the life you really want to live, that you really want to have. Like, he just needed a push, and he needed someone to believe in him, and along came Fatima. So I want to say he's grateful, but I also want to say he, like, I don't want him to confuse all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want him to not be grateful, but at the same time, is it gratitude? I mean, you feeling her, you like her, but is it more gratitude than you know what I'm saying? Like, just be clear in your mind what it is. Like, I can appreciate you. I can appreciate you, and I think they actually have a great chemistry. So I just want him to be crystal clear in his mind that this is what he wants. So neither one of them get hurt, because I really like them together. But I want Zach to take a deep breath and, if when you look at life, do you see Fatima or do you see Karen? Because they act like, 3 years is a long time. 12, 24, 48 months. That is a long time to be with one person, right? That's a long time. But it's not 10 years, 20 years. It's not, we were together for so long. 3 years is not a life sentence. Like, Karen keeps saying that, and I'm like, a girl, why do you keep acting like you guys were together like 10 years or something? Okay, 3 years is 48 months. You were with him 48 months. And according to you, when the show first started, he wasn't about nothing. He was riding a bike. You paid for this, paid for that, paid the rent on an apartment, house, whatever y'all live in, apartment. You did all of that. He did nothing. So I'm just not. I just don't see Karen and Zach together. Like, I think that ship have sailed. I really do. I do, because to me that would be Zach going backwards, right? Because guess what? For all the trouble, he reimbursed her with a check. Okay, so I don't know. So we're gonna move past that. So, and while Danny was at Sabrina's, Preston called and he said he was coming over. So she was a little excited because she hadn't seen Preston in a while. So she get there, and I don't know, he just had this look on his face like, like, you know that look like you're very unsure of everything. To me, he had that look on his face, like he just wasn't sure about him, about Danny, about what this is. Is this, are we separated but together? Or, I mean, he just looked worried to me, and I was concerned about that. I was like, why do Rodeo look like that? And so they started talking, and basically they came to the conclusion that they don't know anything about each other. That the only thing they have in common seems to be sex, because they haven't discussed, let's have a conversation about my upbringing and yours. Let's see if we have any similarities. Let's see, do we have anything in common outside of the bed? You know what I'm saying? Because outside of the bed is what's going to keep that relationship. What happens in the bed happens in the bed, but that's not going to sustain me. I need to know what's in your mind. So they actually started talking and comparing notes. And then person started talking black, right? I mean, I guess he done listen to some rap songs or whatever, and she was like, "Wait a minute, why did you come here?" And he said it bold. He came there to have sex, but he said the vulgar word, and so you picture it. And so she was like, "Why? What are you saying? Why do you keep saying that?" Because he was giving one word answers. Right? She said, you want dinner? Yeah. With steak or chicken? It don't matter. I mean, he was giving one word answer because he's confused. He's so confused about what this is, right? So he need her to make it plain. So, he was just talking, and she was like, "Please stop talking like that. Please stop talking like that." He was like, "Well, that's what you want." He was like, and she was like, "No, I don't want you to talk to me like that. Now, please get the old person back." You know what I'm saying? So I really like them two together. Like, Danny don't know what she want, she don't know what she want, because you avoided. Okay, before he came into your life, you were avoiding the landlord. She would come to the door, and you were avoiding her. Now he came into the picture, and he's willing to pay 3 months at a time on the rent, and you avoided him. Why? Like, girl, do you know how many women out here want a good man? And you tripping? Okay. So Zach goes home. Fatima's in her lingerie, and he carried her some roses. And so they're talking, and he told her it went well, and he want to take care of her, and people have always taken care of him. He want to take care of her. He want her to move in, and I don't know. I'm thinking she might. I'm thinking she might. I think, because I think Fatima really want to be with Zach. I think Zach want to be with her. I just want Zach to make sure his mind is not, I'm trying to be with you, because you did this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I think he really liked Fatima. And that, to me, that's a good thing. So then Andy goes home, and Gary's sitting there, and they were talking, and he said he got him an apartment, and he just waiting on the paint to dry, whatever. And she was like, she was telling him that therapist is telling you all this. What kind of therapist is that? She's a quack. She's telling you this and that. And, he was like, she said you going to say all of that. And she was like, "Gary, that is not true. I mean, what you're saying is not true. Why is she telling you everything that Andy said? The therapist already told him." So basically, Andy's like, "Okay, so basically, she want to sleep with you. And evidently, you're thinking, you come in here with this key in your back, and figured you just gonna stay here until your appointment is ready." And I wrote it down. He said, what did he say? He said, "Oh, I can leave faster than you know it." Or something like that. "Oh, I can make that happen faster than you think." And he was like, "When I leave this time, I'm not coming back." And so Andy said, "When you leave my key on the table, and I'm going to change my locks again." Yeah. Yeah, but so Calvin's at home cooking. He really, I guess he anticipating Sabrina coming over. And so the guy from that bar that club that they go to, he came over to check on Maurice because he heard, about what happened. And he's trying to, Maurice was really sitting there like in the dumps or whatever. So he was trying to, he was just trying to get Maurice in, cheer him up. And so he offered to take him to an all-you-can-eat place, and that's what did it. And so they went and got, Maurice left to go get dressed, and Calvin was, in the kitchen cooking. Okay? So I guess and it was way past 8, so I guess, he was still hoping Sabrina would come. But I want to make sure. So, okay, so Aaron and Karen start talking or whatever. The movie's over. She really in her feelings because she really like, you know what? If Zach called or came by, you blocking what Zach and I would have been doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, girl, Zach, you were sitting on this couch watching this movie, and Zach and Fatima was already hot and bothered, making their own movie. Okay, so she's sitting there. To me, she was making it very awkward. So he was like, "What? So what's his name?" So Aaron was like, "Well, I'm gonna go on and go because he did not want to go." So I don't know what happened, but at first he was putting his shoes on. To all of a sudden they started kissing. And, she told him she wanted him to make love to her, but the opposite word of that. The word the word women use when they dating a thug. Yeah, that. She want him to do that. And so he said, what? And she repeated it. And honey, they hiding by there. And all of a sudden, she done called out Zach. Girl, what's going on? Because Zach ain't over there calling out Karen, honey. He calling out Fatima. So I'm not understanding what... Aaron need to give her some space. And let her... It ain't no let her decide because the man that she calling out for and all that is moved on. So... I just don't know what... I don't even know. Like, it's like, Karen, what's the deal? Because... he wanted you and you didn't want him. He was fighting hard for you too. And you didn't want him. Oh, Zach, I got so much. Let me figure it out, this and the third. Okay. So I'm not understanding, boo-boo. I'm not understanding because he not over there calling out Karen's name, baby. He over there calling out Fatima. Okay? Fatima. So I'm not. Boo-boo. That ship sailed, sweetie. That ship sailed. So, I think that was all of it. I think that was everybody. Danny, that was Gary, that was Karen, Aaron, Fatima, Zatima. But guys, the show have, I think, 2 more episodes left for the season? I think. Because, it went into the mid-season or winter, whatever it's called. But anywho, that was... Sisters, season 3, episode 14, one word answers. So I'm thinking Danny and Rodeo are working things out. Sabrina might show up next week over there to Calvin's or whatever. You know how she do, She's a bit much for me anyway. Gary and Andy seem to have broken up. Girl, that was the best thing ever. Because he's crazy. Because in that episode, he said, oh, you trying to provoke me, right? You trying to make me angry. I know that's what it is. You want me to be angry. You want... Baby, let that angry man go, okay? Let him go, baby. Y'all broke up. That was the best thing. Leave my key, change the locks on your door, and keep it pushing, okay? So, guys, I will see you all in my next video.